Hello, my name is Pastor David Hawkins, and I'm bringing to you a video blog concerning Pastor's Appreciation Month. For those who know me, they see me in a clergy collar and are wondering what's going on. I just want y'all to know I can get clergified if I so choose to, because my name is David T. Hawkins. In any case, I hope that made you smile. I'm bringing this blog to you because I am the son of a pastor. I am a pastor, and I get the privilege of pastoring Living the Word Church Fellowship in Collinsville, Illinois, and East St. Louis, Illinois, respectively. I have seen God take us from 2 to seeing over 500 people a Sunday. And I'm going to tell you, it's more than a notion. It's not something you do for fanfare. You're either called or you are appalled. Oh, that rhymed, didn't it? Whoo-wee! Anyway, my point to you is this. I want to talk to you about what it means to be appreciative of your pastor. My father pastored in God's body for 42 years. I saw a human and I saw a pastor. I saw a man that had successes and I saw a man that experienced some disappointments. I saw a man rise to the occasion. I saw a man cower in the occasion. But at the end of the day, he was victorious. So let's talk about pastoring real quick. Just posit a couple of thoughts out of the book of Jeremiah that I believe will help us understand pastoring. Jeremiah, the prophet, just goes in on God's people. He's called to Judah, and he is telling them about their sins and their mishaps. And in Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter, we hear for the first time the word pastoring. And God says, hey, Jeremiah, don't worry about these dudes who are in leadership, because I'm going to give the people of God pastors after my own heart who will feed them with knowledge and understanding. Because Jeremiah's problem was he was talking to these people and they wasn't listening. And so God says, don't worry about it. Keep telling them that exile is coming, that they're going to be conquered. So Jerusalem falls. Babylon conquers them. The people of God are held as slaves and captives. And so Jeremiah goes in to the point that he even wants to quit his calling. He wants to give up. But then he says, it was like fire shut up in my bones. Here's what I want to share with you. God speaks to Jeremiah about a prescription. He tells Jeremiah, he says, hey, dude, I know my people have been exiled and held captive and humiliated. But the prescription to their deliverance is, chapter 23, verse 4, I'm going to give them pastors who will tend to them so they will neither be terrified or afraid or missing anything. Now, let me just parenthetically insert that I wonder if some of us who are listening to this video blog are missing God's blessings and opportunities in our lives because we're not submitted to pastoral leadership. Let's push the excuses as to why you are not away, because we've heard them before, and let's deal with the fact that God still has prescribed a pastor as being needful for your blessing. I tell our church at Living the Word that your miracle is in my mouth. Some of you may hear that and say, that sounds egomaniacal. That sounds prideful and heady. How dare you say that? Well, in Romans 10, it says, how can they hear without a preacher? How can they preach except they've been sent? How do you know they've been sent? You see fruit. It's obvious and it's easy. Let me just share with you a couple of thoughts, though. The enemy's attack in today's church is to usurp the order and the authority of God. He wants you to believe that because of the widespread use of technology, you can no longer submit to a pastor and you can Google all the answers to your questions and you can stay at home for the rest of your life. Let me tell you something. That is a complete farce, a complete lie. You've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray. God has prescribed a pastor like he did in Jeremiah's time to help you get your blessing. So when you talk about this, what do you mean, preacher? Well, let me just share it with you this way. God has given you a pastor as a gift. It's a gift. In fact, in Ephesians 4:11, it says, and God has given some apostles, some prophets, some pastors, some preachers, which I'm using to be one and the same in this particular case, but just bear with me, exegetes. Let me do my thing here. And so what we find out, though, is there is a prescription for a preacher in your life, a person who's going to edify you and strengthen you as to attaining victory in your life and to receiving the blessings of God. So let me just end by saying a couple of more things. The enemy wants to distort your appreciation for pastors. He wants you to say, well, I'm not going to submit to no man. Well, God set up men. You submit to your job. You submit to your boss on your job. You submit to the order on your job. But you don't want to submit to the order of God in God's church. Let me just share with you how you're messing up your blessing. First of all, it's easy for us to degrade, downgrade, humiliate, put to shame, scorn pastors because we see their humanity. It's amazing how people don't mind you being Superman, but the day you're Clark Kent, they don't like you. As long as you can rescue them, it's okay. But the moment your humanity is somehow exposed, revealed, or viewed upon, they say, well, oh, I don't know about all that. It is because we have an anti-biblical prescription. We want heroes. We want Jesus Juniors. But God called us to be broken. God called us to be human. God called us to be leaders. God called us to honor Him and to walk in godliness like He did you. And so, brothers and sisters, a pastor is God's gift to you. A pastor is God's prescription, so you're no longer terrified, afraid, so that you can grow. And let me share this last point. I hear people say all the time, well, I can't sit under that church because I ain't getting no feeding. If you've been saved longer than 5 years and you still need to be spoon-fed, you are dysfunctional. God never called you to be a 50-year-old, 5-year-old who still needs Similac, a bib, and a baby high chair. You've got to submit to leadership on the basis that this leader is blessing other people who once were where you are or where you were. You've got to understand that it's not just about you. You're not a consumer, but you are to be a producer of what has been sown into you from the mouth of your man of God. So today, bless your man of God, support your man of God, attend church on Sunday, give financially, tithes and offering, because you know we tend to be financial atheists, but spiritual servers of God. We want to give all our attention to what God has for us, because the day you bless your pastor is the day you'll see God's blessing in your life. I'll see you in a couple more days.